Native metal broadheads. Discussion and experimentation.
So what you guys are doing is preparing the ends so that you can attach these.
Yes. Yep.
And you said one of these was made from a file or something?
Steel plate, and this was a hacksaw blade.
Hacksaw blade, okay.
Yeah, that one's beautiful. Well, this seems to be the modern traditional approach to all of this. Because that's available. People have that. Whereas steel plate like that is harder to come by. The ones that we chiseled out yesterday. Because,
So these were just taken from some plate steel that you guys found?
well, Tom had that at his shop there somewhere. I don't know why, or for what, but he had it, and he wanted to experiment, see if this would make an arrowhead. Right? There is an old account that talks about heating plate steel in a fire and then chiseling it out. So that's what he tried, and it works. But they still have to be filed. And I think once you get a bit of a routine in that, then you might be more consistent in how they come out.
They very quickly stopped using stone points once this showed up.
It depends where and when.
Trade goods and how with the trade network, I would assume.
In some regions, the stone points actually stayed quite late because they had obsidian rather than flint. But in other places, I think, for example, on Hudson Bay, they may have gone from stone points to sort of improvised, homemade, small metal points straight to guns. Whereas on the plains, they came up with this to replace the earlier small stone points. And I think that's also when that shift happens from reed arrows to solid wood arrows.
The solid wood arrows would make more sense with the metal versus the reeds making more sense with the stone points. Because it's easier to salvage the stone point and leave the rest of the arrow behind.
Or if there's a problem with the shaft, right? Or you smash the point, you can exchange either. But really early metal points, they often look like the stone points, the same shape. So I think people try to just replicate that in metal and may have found it too light.
Too small.
Yeah, they came up with these bigger points, but then attaching that to a foreshaft and reed is not going to work well. So
Do we know what these weigh?
the points by themselves?
Yeah.
No. We can weigh them. I have the arrow scale in there somewhere. I brought it.
In here?
No, in my
Oh,
toolbox behind me. I'll take it out.
That's a pretty nasty point. The one that this is the one from the saw blade?
Yeah. Are those legal to hunt with in Manitoba?
They'd be long enough.
So it doesn't have to be the three-bladed kind?
No, it's length.
Length. Ah.
Yeah. If you give me a moment.
Okay, and that's the one that Trevor is using. But don't despair.
That should be legal. I figured it would be anyways, but it's clearly 3 inches.
A lot of stuff that should be legal. Yeah, that's good. So it's 3 inches. That's what it has to be.
Well, it's got to be past 1 inch.
Oh,
The cutting it, like, you have to have more than 1 inch of cutting blade. Well, this thing's got just under 3 inches on the one side and just under 3 inches on the other. So it's actually 2.8 inches, and on the one side And yeah, 2.8.
Does this apply to stone as well, or is stone just illegal?
Stone would not be considered legal.
Never mind any kind of rawhide point or bone point.
Yeah, 3.3 inches. No, I'm not measuring from the tang. I'm measuring from the base of the.
Yep.
So the cutting edge, and then 3 inches.
Here it is.
So you said that one's 198?
This one. Yeah. That's one of the hacksaw blade arrows. Let me get the other one.
The other one's here.
Oh yeah, to see.
Here's the other hacksaw blade.
Yeah. It's slightly different. But 201.6. Let's see. The other side weighs the same.
So 201 grains. That's actually quite heavy.
This? Okay.
For grains? Yes. For most points are like between 100 and 125.
How many grams is a grain?
How many grams is a grain? I don't know that off the top of my head.
Me neither. 311.8.
Wow. But there's going to be a lot of taken off on that before it's finished.
Yeah. Yeah. And that little one, 291.8. Yeah.
Because these two here are basically finished.
Are
So-
we measuring anything else? Or
What was the difference between the two? One was 100.
98 and 201.
So 201 or 9. So within 3 grains of each other.
Yeah.
So within 3
Yes.
grains. That's very good though. That's very consistent. Which should be expected considering it's probably from the same hacksaw blade.
It is, and we've cut it pretty much the same. So, although one has more little teeth for the sinew to grip on than the other, so I filed off more material there.
So that's probably the difference in the 3 grains.
That could be, yeah. And then, of course, the way the edges are ground and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very close. Very close.
Learning like this is definitely fun. Keep having fun, guys.